Cheers.
Cheers.
To one of the originals.
Oh,
to you.
yeah.
To you, Lewis. To you. Good.
Welcome into
you,
another
Mortimer.
edition of Road Trippin'. I'm Allie Clifton, Richard Jefferson, Channing Frye. You guys all know them. And a guy who has been a frequent on the podcast side, but now on the TV side, which
It's a little different.
you feel is a little different.
I feel
A little different.
J.R. Smith,
A little different.
NBA champion, 15-year vet, for those that are just getting to know this individual.
Long time.
Long time. 15-year vet, right?
Yeah.
15. Yeah.
Feels like 20 though, right?
Actually, it doesn't, man. It feels like 8.
It feels like 8.
Seriously.
Tell that to the grays in your beard. Tell that to the grays in your beard.
Switch, how are you? It's been a
I'm
long
great.
time.
I can't complain.
Can I just bring something up?
Please.
The last time we did a podcast, do you guys remember when? This group right here.
Were we on an airplane?
We were not on an airplane.
Orlando?
We were in Orlando. The next day, you
What did I do?
got
Oh,
traded.
I got traded? Yeah. They had to make room for Swish. He needed more shots.
So maybe,
Lie.
Swish, you're a free agent. Maybe something will come after this.
Maybe. I just came from playing pickup with the Lakers guys, and you know their roster's full. So I said, well, since I don't have to pass,
Yeah. You know,
just work on my game.
the worst. No, this the thing that I think you're doing a good job of, and I feel like where I really struggled, like in my last summer, I didn't Instagram my workouts enough. I feel like
You know what's crazy?
it's mandatory to Instagram your workouts.
That's
right?
crazy. It's,
Yeah.
it's literally mandatory to do that now.
Yeah,
Like-
because you look at Kevin Love.
Yeah.
He
He's
hasn't
not
touched a basketball.
No.
Oh, he
haven't-
definitely does.
No, so this is
you
what
just
this,
don't see
so,
it.
No. So I was just in New York. I just flew in from New York, and Kevin texted me. He's like, "Yo, man, you didn't hit me up. No, that's cool. You're in town. You don't hit me." I'm like, "Kev, you just posted a picture in Wyoming 3 hours ago."
Right.
He was like, "Oh, no.
Looking like Woody from Toy Story.
Yeah, seriously.
Hey, Toy Story 4.
I love
yeah.
I
Woody.
haven't seen
It's
it.
a really good movie. Okay.
Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for that contribution.
Appreciate
So-
that info.
go.
So wait,
Pixar,
are
good
you
job.
guys jealous of Kevin Summer?
I am for sure.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I've had a great summer.
Really.
glad
Tell
it's-
us about your summer, Channing.
Well, let's talk about it now. So we're getting our house remodeled. So we're living like 40 minutes
Now
outside
I
the
understand
city.
it's a television show, so we're gonna have to keep
I know.
it tight.
Okay. Very quickly, went to France after I retired with this ball head sucker. That was great. And then came back, and now I literally live in the sticks where last night I was going to put this big
my God.
metal hammock in the teepee.
Yeah.
And I had this, police-grade flashlight, and I have a big pond. And there's a gigantic, about 40-pound nutria, which is a rat that is like this big.
What?
In the pond. I promise you not. And they are kind of mean. And then there were these.
possum?
No, it's actually called a nutria. And then, so I kind of screamed. Then, what I didn't know.
That's what happened to scream.
Yeah. So I screamed. It was.
No, it was higher
wasn't
pitched
very
than that.
manly.
It
Oh
was
yeah.
higher pitched
I was
than
like,
that.
it was the opposite of manly. Oh. Yeah. But then it went in the water, and what I didn't know was there was actually 4 otters, and they are big. So I stocked my pond with trout.
Yeah.
And when they were little, they were really cute, and they were like this big and little skinny little
The
guys.
otters or the trouts?
The otter. The trout
Where
are.
do you live at?
I live
asked him the same
like 30, 40
question.
minutes outside the city right now.
Yeah, so Channing's the only person that purchases a hay farm, and he's allergic to hay.
Not anymore. Thank you, Allegra.
That's what he counts on.
The first 2 days I was there, I was like dying. But, so anyways, long story long. Dude,
story
all
longer.
these otters are literally jumping in my pond, and I had stocked it, and I think
All your
basically they
fish are
tell
gone?
me like 4 otters can eat 25 fish in within 2 or 3 days. And I mean, there's no bones, there's no nothing, and these things are big. I don't know how big an
What are you
otter is
going to
supposed to be.
do with the nutria?
Do you have a gun on your farm?
No, not yet. On the plane over here, I really thought, am I going to Rambo bow and arrow these suckers?
You're gonna go Rambo?
Dude, there's a Cavaliers. I have a lot of time, guys. So, I was gonna get one of those hunting things, right?
What
It just
hunting
go
thing?
like the hunting stands, it's a camouflage.
Called a tree stand?
It's called a
Right?
tree.
Tree stand?
No, not a tree stand, but it's on the ground. It's a tent, but it looks like
It's camouflage.
yeah, it's
it looks
camouflage,
like hay.
but
It's
it's
a
not
blind?
in a tree.
A blind?
A blind. There
You're
we go.
gonna build a hay fort.
Yeah, basically. But then I'm gonna get like paint on Amazon. Thank you, Amazon.
Oh, my
And
God.
go full paint. And then literally
You know,
at
I
night.
don't think you need paint.
No, but
Let me guess. You want night vision goggles too, right?
yes.
Yes, he said that.
Because first of all, the thing is fast. I think it's like Master Splinter, no lie, right? It's that big, but I'm gonna have night vision goggles and come out there
And you're
like
gonna use a bow and
pop
arrow?
the top.
You
I
should
want
just-
to.
This
It's
needs to
supposed
be
to be
taped. This
arrow,
needs to be
huh?
recorded. You need to set up a video
I will
camera.
try.
You know,
Or
I'll
I'll
take
get somebody
credit for
with a
that
gun.
because I had you watch an Arrow, bro.
Arrow's tight, dog.
I'll take
That's
credit.
what I'm saying.
No.
Not better than
He
Flash,
doesn't-
though.
No, it's not. Flash is the best.
Flash is awesome.
The best team.
Will the otters eat the otters?
No, the
Or
otters
the
are
nutria eat
family.
the otters?
No, the nutria only eats like grassy, ruins everything that I plant. So it's nice and pretty.
Everything you plant?
So it's like
I
Peter
didn't.
Rabbit.
I didn't plant. It's a gigantic
Rat.
rat. It's disgusting. His teeth are huge.
I'm gonna be really honest, Channing.
Yeah.
I like everything about this idea except for your ability to kill it with a bow and arrow.
Right.
I think you have zero chance.
Cue
I think
80s
that-
montage, me in the barn, frustrated at first. Next thing you know, I'm like Bo Jackson firing that thing off with my foot.
Oh my
Have you
God.
not seen the 30 for 30?
I've seen Bo Jackson do it.
Yeah,
but
and he's
Bo is like
super
a
good
real
about-
country person.
I'm very country now. All I wear is Carhartt.
See, this is.
I
Shout
literally
out. You just gave out 3 names.
Plugs.
Amazon.
He's plugging.
Zoom on me,
Plug in.
free. 99
Plug in.
Carhartt.
it's never gonna happen.
Your
Lieutenant.
shirts are very expensive, Carhartt, by the way. It's like $20. Goodness gracious.
And no one wants to
t-shirt.
hear that. No one wants to hear that. Why are you wearing that yellow shit?
I have no
It's a
idea
really good
how...
shirt. It's a John Elliott shirt.
Bro, you're 7 feet though. You're doing all this with a bow and arrow and a tent and all of this?
Yeah, well, no, I'm going to. We've just said what I'm going to. I haven't done it yet.
So this is his project.
I'm picturing this in my head. This big 7-foot dude.
Picture
in
me
a
going to
tent with a bow
Cabela's.
and arrow.
Will
Like,
all I
give
wanna
me
know,
your strongest bow.
Will your
that one.
Will your bow and arrows have explosives?
I mean, I'm not gonna. Is it legal?
Indecency arrows.
Channing Fly blows up
Everything.
everything.
Up next on Road Trippin'.
My
No clue.
conditioning is not what it used to be, so I need to get a head start. If it runs at me, I got about 3 steps up. Like, hey, listen, we gotta take our chances here.
Lawrence, you're on your own.
Oh, I'm screwed. Oh, I'm screwed.
Save yourself.
Can we talk about all the different animals that are just kind of rubbing?
Where does he live
turkey
at,
vultures?
bro?
Listen,
He
he's
lives
the
40
only,
minutes from his house.
Like Portland is awesome, right? I got no issues with Portland. Oregon, great.
Oh, so you're still in Oregon now?
Yeah, see, this is the thing.
Very
so he has-
committed.
so he has his
I'm
main
all, I
house.
doubled down on.
So yeah, he definitely
Sam.
doubled down. He has his
doubled
main
down
house.
on 10.
And I'm like, Channing, he's like, yeah, I'm thinking about getting a lake house. I'm like, oh, dope. Where are you gonna go? Like Tahoe? Like, what's your thing? No, like 30 minutes up the road. I was like, oh,
Listen.
sounds like a lot of fun. Hay farm.
Sounds like you don't want nobody to
Nice
come over.
catch. Nice
See,
catch.
when you're out in
Wait,
the woods,
Switch,
you
you
gotta be
wouldn't-
ready.
Okay. Channing, you're not going to kill any animal like that.
No.
No, definitely not with a bow and
I
arrow.
do go fishing
I have
a lot
I got,
off my
I
job.
have money that you will not kill anything with a bow and arrow ever.
Let me ask you this: if
Yeah.
you
Switch me.
if you shoot at this nutria,
Yeah.
and you miss,
I gotta Google nutria.
Will it
Can we
attack
pop
you?
that
will
up
it attack
somewhere?
you? Will it come at you?
If I miss, it just goes into the water. I mean, it's
you
a
have
No,
scuba gear?
if you
Do you
miss
have
it,
scuba gear?
obviously the arrow will go into the water. But will the animal?
no, it's
attack
not
you?
going to come at you. It's like it is like a
You've done
gigantic.
You
this
said it was
research.
vicious.
They are vicious if like
They're vicious to fish.
no. They're vicious if like you're close to it. If you just happen to sneak up on it, it won't run away. It'll turn around. So if I'm like between here and the door, if I shoot it, I can shoot something from here to the
Basically,
door.
he's trying to hunt an outdoor cat. That's basically an outdoor kitty cat.
It's a gigantic, invasive species.
It says 40 pounds.
Species. There's only one
It
of
is
them.
big. It is big and a nasty tail.
Do you have to keep your children away from it? Like,
no,
do they know
usually
that it's
my
out
kids
there?
don't go out there. Like they'll go out there during the day. It's not out there during the day. It's just like late at night when
It's
it gets cooler.
nocturnal.
Yeah, as far as I know. I don't go out there during the day. I put fish. So I went to the river, right?
You fished and then you brought
Fish.
fish.
So I brought the fish, and these are big bass.
Do
right?
you feel
So let
like
me ask you this.
you're
How do you
contributing
know
to
it's
the
a
growth
bass?
of these otters and these things if you keep putting fish in
Well,
there?
here's the
Right,
problem.
obviously
I
they
didn't
keep
know
coming back.
The nutria it only eats like grass. So it eats all like the good stuff that keeps the soil like together. And so that's where like
It eats
erosion
that
comes.
so it doesn't grow back?
Yeah, so it makes its home and takes all the good like grass and stuff that you plant, and it makes its home and has babies. So it is like a big old rat. But then the otters, I didn't know the otters were still there. So I'm putting all these fish in my pond like, oh, look at this. Look at
he's got
this.
a
There we
nutria?
go.
Look at that.
There we go.
Look at that.
That's
look,
a
look,
nutria?
look.
I'm
let me-
so glad somebody gave us a reference.
That's a big
They look
rat.
just
Look
like
at
That is
this.
a big, it
Hold
looks
on.
like
Boom.
an otter.
No, that does not. I'm
That's a-
telling you,
is that-
That's a
I
rat,
have
bro.
deemed him
That's a rat.
master
First of all,
splinter.
there's no way you're gonna hit that. There's no way.
With a bow and
With a
arrow?
bow and arrow. No.
Guys,
Channing,
you know
Channing.
what? Just for that, I got time. I got time now.
Channing, have you ever?
That-
I'll be really serious. Have
Yeah.
you ever fired? And that
Fired a gun?
No, no.
bow
Have
and
you
arrow.
ever fired a real bow and arrow?
What do you mean real?
I
The
mean,
ones
like,
that don't
not
have
the,
the, like,
not the
little
little
suction
kids
cup?
ones that come.
Yeah,
Not the
what-
suction
No,
Yeah.
cup.
I'm talking
Richard,
about like
you
the
don't
real
fire a
sport
bow and arrow.
looking.
No.
shoot
I've looked it up.
or-
I have a lot of time, so I looked it up on YouTube.
answer my
I need
question.
a compound bow.
Answer
not
my
a-
question.
So a compound, you can pull it and let and like
doesn't want
I
to.
hold it.
understand.
Channing, answer my
I get
question.
the bow game.
Have you ever?
Once.
Channing.
Once.
Channing.
No, because remember we do in Arizona. They have those like. We did it one time with like Brittany. You get to
This
shoot
sounds like
things.
some, like,
it's a
band camp
western.
story.
So as a western, you get to shoot an arrow.
We're not talking
shoot a
about going
gun.
to Tombstone and like taking the pictures for like Western.
No, but you actually
themes.
get to shoot a bow.
Was this like Great Adventures?
No, it's like they have like these set up old western towns.
And in this
and then in them
space-
you could shoot hay.
And
Is
in
it
this,
a real bow?
Yeah, it is a real bow.
so
it
in
actually
this
was
space,
way harder than I thought it would be.
basically gave you enough of a preparation to
Yeah.
feel like you could shoot a moving animal that is nocturnal.
What's that commercial? It said, "Are you a doctor?" No, but I.
Stayed at a Holiday Inn
Yeah,
last night.
that's what I'm doing right now.
That's one of the dumbest things I've ever heard in my entire life.
It was hilarious commercial though.
Great commercial.
hilarious
I'm
commercial.
not saying that you are dumb.
Right.
I'm just saying that you need to get a gun immediately. 'Cause
Yeah,
then this is the
somebody
thing,
said give
I
him
don't think he
22.
needs to get a gun.
No,
I think he
but
maybe
you-
like
no,
a,
they do have
like an
diseases,
airsoft
too.
gun or something.
An air. Yeah. I don't
First
know
of
if
all,
we should.
just one
Just
thing I
scared
don't want to
enough to-
do. I
What
do
about
have
a
this.
BB gun.
Scare it.
What about
Is
like
that-
a?
It's an
You're gonna scare
airsoft.
it?
Okay, think about this. He's gonna kill it. Who's gonna pick it up? He's not gonna pick it up.
Hell no.
You're not even gonna pick it up if it's dead.
So why don't you just
Dude,
hire
they're
someone?
actually disease ridden, so I would have to get a hook or something and then pour it somewhere and burn it.
I need all of
promise
this
you.
on film.
Why
Wait,
wouldn't
yeah.
you just call animal control for all this?
Well, I'm in the sticks, so they're like, I
They're
asked
like,
animal control
you're-
because there was a bird in my chimney and a swallow.
You did not call
It's a
animal
little-
Wait,
control
what?
for a bird in
Wait,
your
time
chimney.
out.
Yeah, what do you want me to do? Go up on my roof?
Yo, what did you just say?
It's called a swallow. It's a.
Switch.
You know what?
What color is the swallow?
All right, can we talk about
Can
what
we get
everyone
back?
really wants to know?
Yes.
What color the swallow
this-
is? What kind of color? I'm just
I
saying.
don't know. That sucker was
Probably
dead
like
when
an
I saw it.
off-white.
You killed the swallow.
I didn't kill it. Pest control killed it.
Pest control killed the swallow.
Yet you're gonna pick up a bow and arrow and shoot a
Right.
nutria. Like that,
I'm
you
gonna
don't
shoot
even
at the
make
nutrient and
sense.
come get
A
somebody to come get
40-pound
it.
animal.
Okay.
All right. Bet. Just for this, I promise
Bro,
you.
please
when
tell
I
me
get
this
back,
happened.
wait till the video. I cannot wait.
Listen.
I'm gonna
we'll-
get one of those elk things.
uninterrupted.
And be
I
out
feel
there.
like this is a moment that we're going to really chime in, and we're gonna just
We're
set
actually
up
gonna go
cameras.
on the road.
I am
Yeah.
gonna put. I'm gonna
is
have
it.
my boy record me, and I'm putting 80s
I wanna be
montage
there for
music
this.
until
Let me
this
know
gets
you're doing
aired,
it.
and then I'm going out there. You're gonna see me at the Olympics. Click, click. You know how they shoot it and then they let it drop. Look. Click, click.
But Chen, you gotta aim down. You're
stronger
7
this
feet,
man?
bro.
You're yeah.
No, I'm
Right,
shooting from far away. Just in case it runs at
far
me.
away. You're
Just in
shoot-
case it runs at me.
See,
I'm
you
dipping.
don't know if it's gonna charge at you. He
Exactly.
doesn't
Yes,
know.
yes.
My
No clue.
conditioning is not what it used to be, so I need to get a head start. If it runs at me, I got about 3 steps. I'm like, hey, listen, we gotta take our chances here.
Lawrence, you're on your own.
Oh, I'm screaming. Oh, I'm screaming.
Save yourself!
Lock the door.
He tells his kid, save yourself, every man for himself. Daddy, where are you going?
Run.
Run.
He's going for you first.
He found us. He found us.
Don't let him get you. Don't let him get you.
Don't get
I'll
you.
be
He
honest.
found us.
Your boy would be gone if that thing came after me. If it ran after me, I would be screaming.
Oh, jeez, just get
This
it
is
done.
my interview. It's a Swish's interview.
That's what I said.
Swish.
Let's talk about what everyone
talk about
wants to know.
Swish.
It always turns
You.
into Shannon.
It
though.
is.
No, it doesn't.
Everybody
I mean,
knows
how
it,
can
you
it
know?
not?
You basically started
Sure.
interviewing Channing, saying like, wait a second, Channing.
It always turns into this, though.
Yeah, as it should.
That for sure.
And I think my life is boring until I come here. Everyone thinks it's
no,
hilarious.
your life is hilarious.
It's so hilarious.
Because it's so real.
Up next on Road Trippin'.
Expected no defense. Didn't
I got
expect him to
I'm
pass.
positional defender. I'm in the right position. I'm not defending. Coach, I'm here. Channing, you didn't do nothing. What did you have me? Tell me what do you want?
Channing is extremely intelligent. He is.
I do have my degree.
He's a very intelligent, like, you know, book smart type, very,
lot of book smart.
lot of book smart. Common sense.
Last book I read was like
He's
instruction
not
manual.
all the way there.
No.
But we're still working on him, on
Yeah.
a common sense side.
Yeah.
But he's very
Intellectual.
intellectual. There you go.
Thank you. I'm
So
very,
he can fool you.
I'm
He
advanced.
can fool the hell out of you.
Yeah.
Like when I first when I first realized Channel's coming to the team, I've always like heard about, you know, you hear about playing with different people
You're
or
like, man,
talking
this
to
dude's
different
a
people.
thug.
I was like, man,
that's what you thought.
OG.
I was like, yo, I've asked people like, what's
Bowmaster.
up with Channing? He's like, he's gonna be one of the most funniest guys you've ever met in your life. I was like, Channing Frye? I was like, no way.
Yeah.
Hell
You're
no.
like, how can he be that good
There's no way.
and that funny? Or just like
Definitely
it doesn't
didn't
work.
expect-
That- oh.
Knew he could shoot. Expected no defense. Didn't expect him to
I'm
pass.
positional defender. I'm in the right position. I'm not defending. Coach, I'm here. Channing, you didn't do nothing. What did you have me? Tell me what do you want?
You asking for too much.
Too much.
Baby
Steps.
steps.
First, you got me from there to there. Well, do what? What am I doing? What am I blocking?
It is your fault for putting me in this position.
That's not why
you
I'm
know
here.
Damn well I should not be in
Coach,
this.
at all.
3 is worth more than 2. That's a layup.
No, he used to do the same
Give
thing
up
to
a
me.
layup.
So before he got to the team, he was like, yo, what's JR like? And I was like, nah, JR is great. He's great. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Because I feel like JR is just like really crazy. And I was like, no, he's not.
He's actually the most subdued human
Yeah,
being.
and then like
I've
after
ever met
like
in my life.
he was with us for a couple weeks. He's like, I really like JR. I was like, dude, I told you, but he literally used to call me and ask me, hey, what's Bron like? And this is before he was ever about to get
I
traded.
was very
He
bored in Orlando. I didn't have no friends.
He was not playing in Orlando, not doing anything. And he would
was-
just call me and be like, so what's Kyrie like? And I was just like, Channing, are you just gonna ask me what all my guys are like? And he was just like, yeah, I don't really have much going on out here, so I just want to know what a real basketball team
Orlando.
is like. Gotta,
I was
yeah.
fishing out there, dude. I'm tell you this,
Why are we talking about you fishing?
because this is what this is about. I'm trying to get a fishing contract.
Fishing contract?
Like George Hill.
George Hill got
I
a fishing
told you about
contract?
this.
What?
No.
What?
He's got a show.
No.
What?
G Hill?
Hey, what is
Sure.
going on?
He's got
Georgia,
George Hill?
Georgia the
Jorge?
jungle. We talked about your zonkey. And you
Yes,
having to
oh
get
my
a giraffe, dog. You don't even invite me.
What's a zonkey?
He
A
has
zebra and a
the-
donkey.
Yeah.
And it takes care of his.
Wait.
What? That's a
This
real
is a
animal?
thing.
This is on an episode.
Is that like,
Yes.
is that like
It's
a,
a real
labradoodle?
animal. Yeah,
of.
What?
basically. So
He has
This is
all
what
these
he said.
animals.
So
Is this like a blended animal, a labradoodle? You never
So
heard
if
of
you
a
guys
labradoodle?
wanna
I heard
Hear-
of it,
hear the
but I
real
don't know what
story.
it is.
Watch,
I
a
can
labradoodle
say
is when
it,
you-
but
when
when
you-
you show me,
It's a
I know
lab
what it is.
with a poodle.
A Labrador and a poodle.
oh, he
like a
doesn't know
golden
what
I
that
doodle?
gotta
is.
see this. I gotta
You've never
see
seen a
it.
labradoodle?
I've
Who's got
heard
the
of it.
iPad?
I heard of
I
it.
need a picture of a
joking?
labradoodle.
Bro, I
They
heard
have
of it.
Bernedoodles, like Burmese mountain dogs
Okay,
and
now
poodles.
you're making
We have
I'm
a
not.
cockadoodle. We have a cockadoodle.
Wow.
We
I've
do.
heard of that.
It's a cocker spaniel
Yeah.
with a
Poodle.
It's
poodle.
hypoallergenic.
Allergenic,
It is.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it helps like people that have bad
Two
allergies.
Guys,
So do these dogs actually mate, or are these like something
Yes.
that
No.
Yes, they
a
mate.
man
Dog.
put
they mate.
together?
And
They
then
do
so
this.
like they took a bulldog and a Shih Tzu and then they bred them and they call it a bull.
this is actually.
That was so dumb.
fact
I'm mad I
that-
laughed at it.
You got them.
Okay, wait. Tell the zonkey story.
No, you can bring it up.
He really had to get
There
zonkies
really is-
for his
that is.
gazelles because a zonkey, when he has mountain lions, he has all his property. So mountain lions eat the gazelles, but a zonkey will hold its ground and protect the other ones, their kick is so strong that it like is
So a
aggressive.
donkey can beat a mountain lion?
It'll kick it in his face. Have
What
you
if
not
he-
seen
what
that
if he
video of the
attacks from the
horse
front?
kicking the other horse in the face?
What if
and
he
killing
attacks
it?
from the front?
Then, listen.
No,
Well, listen, look. You better get him a drink.
look at the Labradoodle. It's got hair like
Yeah,
Channing.
look at the Labradoodle.
It's got hair like Channing.
Oh, okay. I see
Delicious.
that. That's a lab.
Can you show us a zonkey?
That's a lab.
Pull up a
and poodle?
pull up a bullshit.
What? Why do you have
big.
all black? Look at this. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, who's got all the black
all
emojis?
black emojis.
Come on, jeez.
What
No,
are
that
we
says something. That
doing?
says something. Like black fist, like
sure.
peace. It's
You know what? It's 2019. You can be.
What's going on?
You can be whatever you
No,
want to
there's
be.
what? John Wall emojis. Okay.
John Wall
How's John
emojis.
doing? Good.
It's his birthday today, right? Shout out to John Wall.
Yeah, shout out to
Shout out to John
That's
Wall,
a
my
real
Virgo
thing?
brother.
This is
Actually,
a real thing.
That's the ugliest thing I've ever seen.
Look at that
Zonky.
face.
Why you gotta talk to him like that, though?
Talk to
Why
him.
you
Listen,
gotta
you
be
know,
ugly?
look.
Why you gotta
You
be
got them
ugly,
two
though?
big teeth.
Dog, that's the like that looks like something from Shrek. Oh,
That's
that's
not.
kind of
That's,
cool.
that's fake.
Channing, no one can
Nah,
see.
No
look,
one
that's
can
not
see
fake.
this.
That's
what
not
you're-
fake, bro.
This isn't fake.
That's fake.
That's not fake.
That's not fake, bro.
No, they use Face App on that.
For those that are listening on the audio side, Channing is
Oh, for
scrolling
those-
through an iPad.
Yeah, so those who are listening on the audio side, go and Google
Zonky.
when
Zonky.
you combine a bulldog and a Shih Tzu.
I think you made that up.
No,
I think
that's
I
a
think
very
it's from
old
I think
joke.
it's from Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
a really, and I know
I
you
didn't see
hadn't
that
seen the
movie.
movie.
Suitable
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Swish.
No,
never seen that one.
Swish.
You've never
Should we
Don't
just move
start
on from that? That
this.
is so like 3 years ago.
No, Dumb and Dumber is in the 90s. So
Dumb
it's
and
not.
I was about to say
No, the fact that
three
I
years
don't-
ago. Wait, which one are you talking?
The fact that I haven't seen movies. Swish, let's talk about you.
Okay.
What's going on?
Swish, what's the
You want
best
to hoop
runs?
still, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You've been working out. You're in shape.
Yeah.
I saw just recently that you turned down an opportunity to go overseas.
Yeah, let's
True.
go back to China.
Going to China.
Back to China. You've been there before.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Where'd you play?
How did you?
I gotta go to Shanghai.
How did you forget? Because I
forget.
wasn't there. It wasn't me.
Thanks, but no thanks.
No thanks. China's out.
Yeah, it's out.
Okay.
I appreciate the offer, though.
Up next on Road Trippin'.
What people don't realize about me, I'm really not a.
You're misunderstood.
I'm really not like a
You're
jerk.
misunderstood.
Like, so when I walk into the facility, I see these guys on the training table, I go speak to them, I go have fun
Yep.
with the trainers and stuff like. So I enjoy that part. Like when I get up in the morning to go to work, I have fun when I go. So that's why I continuously get up and do the stuff that I do. I love being around the people that I'm around.
Have you talked to your boy Mello?
Yeah, all the time.
Well, I know it was like a segue to a larger question.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying, it was like I knew that you had talked to him. I'm
Right.
saying like how do you
How are
do that?
his spirits?
No, it's less about him and just like we talked about this last year, and you were trying to figure out what you wanted to do with Cleveland, and I was like, dude, look, it's hard out there for vets. Like that's something that people don't understand. Even if you're like right now, look, there's 450 players in the NBA.
Yeah.
I stand by the fact, Channing and I, as old as we are, whatever, we're still one of the 450 best players in the world. But it's like the game kind of moves to a
it moves
space.
past- it's moving past you.
It moves on, and so
Yeah.
like there's probably 75 to 80 players in the NBA that they're just here to develop. They're young.
Yeah.
They're just seeing what they can
Right.
accomplish. Right? It doesn't mean that they're one of the 450 best. There's
Right.
guys over in Europe that are
Yeah.
the best players in Europe that are probably a part of that top 400 and something. So
Easily.
like for you or Carmelo, seeing some of his struggles and trying to navigate like what he's doing, like how do you kind of like compare like your position of like roles changing, being a veteran, expected to either take a much lesser role or a kind of we might need you, we might not.
You know, I was bitter at first. I was, because like I would go to pickups and go to runs, and I would see guys with contracts and literally didn't know which way was. Like if we sit here and we talk, and I tell you, and Channing tells me to ice it, what does that mean?
Well, oh yeah, like go down.
Send them down.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
Put more two
right.
ice cubes in my drink. Okay,
Well, now it's
I
different
got
for
you. My bad.
cocktails.
Right. Well, yeah, 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
If I'd have told you.
Wait a second. It took me a moment when he said to ice it, and I was like,
No,
put
I was
them on
absolutely
ice, put 'em-
horrible
put
at
it-
doing
yeah.
that. But anyways,
Well, anyways, for the younger guys, it's just like, I can't fault them because they don't know.
Yeah.
And at the time, I was doing that because it's like, look, he don't even know where to be. He doesn't know how to play. He doesn't. But I can't fault him for that because at one point, that was me. I was a 17-year-old kid walking into training camp, and dudes looking like, look at this kid. He don't know where to go. He don't know this. He don't know that. And these dudes are 14, 15-year-old vets who are quote unquote established and everything else. And it was like, it was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to help me. The difference about me, I was like, I'll help you. Like, it's not like, okay, don't get me wrong, it was some, I wouldn't say hate, but it was like, damn, like, why can't I get this? Like, why don't they want me to play opposed to just having somebody who's fresh and brand new on the market and who doesn't know how to play?
Doesn't know how to play basketball.
And it was like, you know what? And the Mello kind of schooled me on this. Will help me out. It was like, it's not about us or da-da-da, it's just the game and stuff like that. So once I comprehended that part of it, it was just that much easier to just go out there and help players, help younger guys when I'm playing pickup or when I'm in a workout and guys like, yo, how do you get to your step back and da-da-da-da. I'm like, all right, well, I really don't want to show you this because this is my bag, but I'll help you, get right in a sense. But
Let me ask you this. I was talking to Channing about this earlier because ever since everything happened with Cleveland, I don't think we've heard from you at all on the situation, how it went down. It's just a perception from the outside, right? And I was asking Channing earlier today, in those moments, who was Swish? What was the Swish that, a lot of people grew to love, and the NBA champion and the guy that could, change a game in a matter of seconds? Do you think that there's anything looking back now, as you mentioned in the moment you were bitter, that you would have done differently?
Um,
Because it's easy once you're removed from that moment and situation and the time that has passed for you to see it differently.
honestly, I think I would have probably tried to stick it out longer. Just off of the relationships I built and the people around, just the people like Channing, people like Kyle Korver, and even though Kyle got traded like almost right after that.
Right.
yeah, not happy.
The trainers and stuff like that. Like what people don't realize about me, I'm really not
You're misunderstood.
I'm really not like a
You're
jerk.
misunderstood.
Like, so when I walk into the facility, I see these guys on the training table, I go speak to them, I go have fun with the trainers and stuff like that. So I enjoy that part. Like when I get up in the morning to go to work, I have fun when I go. So that's why I continuously get up and do the stuff that I do. I love being around the people that I'm around. Now, once that's interfered by somebody who doesn't feel like I'm working up to par or doing whatever is needed to be done for the team or the better sake of the team, if I'm not getting a fair shake, then that's different. But I'm not as complex as people make it out to be.
So look, this was one of the things a lot of guys went through it. So you, Tristan, Kyle, like you guys went from going to NBA finals back to back to the team kind of making a decision. Obviously Kevin's injury hurt your guys' ability to be really aggressive early in the season. You get kind of in a tough spot, and then now all of a sudden they're like, hey, well, it's probably best for us to just play the young guys.
Yeah, that didn't make a difference.
No,
but Kev was hurt or not.
But it was more of like now looking back on it, and you're like, okay, look, there's frustration anytime you go from having tons of success to really struggling.
Yeah, for sure.
Are you in a better place now where you're like, hey, my job now is less about what me playing, me going and being aggressive, and like more to the space of like trying to help whoever you want to put me in front of. You want to have me help a two guard or help a younger player, like, because that's the role now that, what year is this for you?
This would be 16.
16. Yeah. Like, that's the role that once you hit to like 13, 14, 15, it gets to that space of like, hey, we might need you to play, we might not. We're definitely going to need you to be a good, veteran presence. Like, are you ready to accept that role?
Yeah. See, the difference between me and that space is is we're having a conversation about that.
Yeah.
Before, we didn't have a conversation about that.
Yeah.
It was, okay, well, if you want to start fresh, we can move on and, you know, we can find a better spot for, you know, what's suitable for you. Get some young players. I can go to a spot to where we can, you know, I can compete and stuff like that. And it was like, oh, no, we're going to try and compete. You know, all right, cool. Let's do that. If we're going to compete, all right, cool. Now you're telling me something totally different.
Yeah.
Now I'm in compete mode and we're not trying to rebuild and all that. And we get 3 games in, it's like, all right, we're going to rebuild. It's like,
3 games. It was 3 games in, 6 games.
It was you guys started 0-6.
Yeah.
it was 0-6, but mind you, the first day of training camp, literally the first day, we will have the whatever brunch in the
Yeah.
or late lunch or whatever. It's like, yeah, we really just want you guys to, you know, the older guys, the emphasis, the younger guys. And I felt it coming on as he was talking, and I was just looking like, it's not going to be what I thought. And then, unfortunately, Kev gets hurt.
Yeah.
And
T.
then
Lou gets fired.
T. Lou gets fired, which we all knew was coming because of the situation, just because you can't go from winning a championship with a great team to having the leeway and the freedom of you do, and then just, okay, well, you got to do this. You just can't do it like that. It just don't work like that, for me, anyway. But
There's just too much in between. Like, we were in between. We had
Yeah.
like 7 or 8 guys that were like, let's go make the playoffs.
Right.
But then you can't, you know, and after all these years, I think for me, like, I was one of those guys where they were like, Jane wants you to come in here and maybe get some minutes, like, and compete.
Right.
But then when that whole situation went down where they were like, hey, listen, like, this might be better for us to go in this direction.
Right.
For me, I was like, Dan, give us a chance. Like, we're not, you know, we're
You're
not
like,
chopped
listen, we
liver.
can screw this
You
up
lost.
all by ourselves. Like,
Yeah,
we
don't
don't need no help.
Yeah, like,
That's what you want
I
to
think
do.
for us,
At
it-
least just
I
let
think
us
for
go out
us-
guns
I
blazing.
think for us, like, guys who were on that championship team, it was almost like, I think at the time, you know, hindsight is 2020. Looking back, it was more, I felt like it was almost a kind of a slap in the face for us, because we were like, listen, we're the underdogs. Nobody thinks we can do anything, but here we go. We can, we will. Like, even if we're 8th or 9th, we're showing the world that we are still good and competing without LeBron.
Right.
Because everyone's like, well, LeBron didn't have anybody. And,
Right, we're the
you know, blah, blah.
leftovers at the end of the day.
Yeah,
we
the
got
leftovers.
LeBron, you got Kyrie, you know, like
Yeah,
literally
so
the leftovers. And then
When we went 0-6.
But without you all,
there was
you
no,
guys
yeah,
don't
yeah.
win 2016.
Yeah.
No.
There's
but
a-
I mean, again,
that's what everybody does.
I mean,
Yeah.
and then,
Exactly.
like, I think for me, it just took a lot of wind at everybody's sail, because I think there is a way to develop your young guys to be winners without having, and I'll say this about Pop. He has guys that nobody's heard of that are making
Impacts.
impacts.
Like dramatic impact.
Dramatic impacts, because they are being brought up in a sense of, like, you know, hey, this is your role.
And this
You're
is
gonna,
how you play.
you have to earn this, right? Above guys who have already done it.
For sure.
But real quick though, you guys now, after being, you know, you guys have both been on many teams, good, bad, whatever. Now you understand why teams get rid of everyone, because you can't. So, like, even when my early days and going to the Nets, they, like, Jason Kidd, myself, and Jason Collins, we all got traded within like 3 months. They were like, we need everybody out of here that has experienced great success.
Yeah.
Because
You need no
there's
reminders.
Yeah, we need no
Exactly.
reminders of,
We
like,
need-
this is not what we used to did, or when I was a rookie, this is how hard we worked, and blah, blah, blah. So it's like, it is,
You know, it's
there's,
funny because I found myself doing that.
Oh yeah, everyone
yeah,
does
no,
that.
everyone
What
does
part?
it.
I
I
Everyone
found
does
myself
it.
doing that.
Like, yo, we
And
didn't do
I
this.
hate that.
What part?
And like when I was a rookie, we did this, or when we were champs, we was doing this, and and I found myself like, we're not the same team.
Up next on Road Trippin'.
You have to reinvent yourself. If you're not evolving or reinventing yourself, then the game will either pass you by or you're going to be trying to catch up. If you look back in NBA history and they're like, oh, we're purging everyone. Everyone's gone.
Everyone's gone.
Because, but that's what happened with us in the Nets. It was like, they traded Kenyon, then Carey, and then we brought in Vince, and we were good, and we were having some success. But when the decision was made, like, basically what they say, blow it up. You got to blow it up, because if you have 6 guys that are there that still remember greatness and championship, then they're holding people
Especially
accountable.
competitive-minded, dominant people.
Oh yeah.
Because I
that's
can't.
too much. It's almost unfair to guys, rookies coming in.
For sure.
Because they're like, you don't really get a chance to make mistakes, because every game you're thinking, like, if I don't do exactly what I'm supposed to do, I'm going to get screamed and yelled at, and then these guys are going to lose respect. Where if it's like, hey, listen, you're getting 30 minutes regardless, then guys go, you know what?
I'm just playing. I'm just gonna
You
go play,
playing?
have fun.
Hey, you messed up here. Don't do it again.
Go back out there.
Get out there.
Go ahead out there, be
Go
somebody.
ahead there. But that was the thing though. Like when you have like 5 or 6 guys that are from a space of you went to 4 straight finals, right? And it's like, if I make a mistake, either I'm not gonna play. There was Shump, there was Kyle Korver, or like, hey, he's gonna take me out if I make this defensive mistake. Right. And all of a sudden, you're looking at a guy a year later who makes 5 defensive mistakes in a row, and we're just riding with it. And you're like, that's the difference, and that's something that people don't understand is very, very difficult.
That's tough.
And that's why you have to blow it up. And it's not your fault. It's like, no, Jetty or any of the young players, they Sexton, we just got to go let them play. We just got to go let them play 35 minutes, whether they make mistakes or not, which was something that you hadn't been around in probably 5 or 6 years.
But I never understood going to, whenever I played, I never played to. Okay, we joke that I shoot a lot, and you know,
you do.
because I do.
You do.
That's what I
you
do.
do.
That's
You're
my
a shooting guard.
That's what my talent is. That's why I've been able to last so long into adding defense and everything else. But it's people who get to a certain level and then they just, I'm not gonna say their game changes, but it's just like a ceiling.
Yeah.
The game don't evolve. Like, you have to, I don't know if it's your imagination. You have to you have to reinvent yourself each and every year.
Yeah.
Okay, if this year they were playing me off the 3. All right, well, I need to start working on my, coming off the pick and letting that go.
Oh.
Or if they're chasing me over, I need to work on my 15-footer.
But that was the thing with Carmelo. It was like, and I think that's where Carmelo, now looking back on the last probably 2 or 3 years, is like, he didn't see this where he's at right now in the last 2 or 3 years. So he was a little bit unwilling to change, right? And just being like, no, this is who I am. I am a scorer. This is who I've been. And it's like, well, dude, I get it. But like you said, you have to reinvent yourself. And if you're not evolving or reinventing yourself, then the game will either pass you by or you're going to be trying to catch up.
The game is evolving.
But is that what you think you have to do?
What's that?
You don't think you have to reinvent yourself, do you?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, he
yes.
does. He 100% does.
Because
From what standpoint?
It's different because you got, for me, in my position, people know Swish or Jay, whoever you think of me, the first thing people say is either my Denver days or New York days and stuff like that, and they don't think about my initial thing is, okay, the shirt off and championship, stuff like that, but when they think of me playing wise, that's the first thing you think about. So the way I was playing then, it's a completely different person the way that I played in Cleveland.
Right.
In Cleveland, I was a 3 and D guy. You're 3, give it to Bron, and I'm gonna play defense.
Right, but that's not every team has that player.
Yeah, but now everybody has the option to have a player that can do that or just go score, give me 18 or 19 a game.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
But
Can you do that?
For sure.
Can you reinvent your game?
I have to.
Yeah.
But can you? Have you? Because
I've
here
done
you
it
are as a
time
free
and time
agent.
again.
Yeah, but I'll say this. I think you look at talent, and I think I honestly, I got one last year, and I got to ride out, you know what I'm saying? But honestly, my talent ran out. I can't reinvent myself. I can't get faster.
He said my talent ran out.
My talent ran out. Skill-wise, okay, I can shoot better than most people on most teams, right? Still, right now, I haven't shot ball in months.
Yeah.
If you give me 2 days, I'm out there, whatever. Right?
That's a
Barbecue
fact,
chicken.
though. Because honestly, no disrespect, real quick.
Yeah.
Honestly, I had this conversation with my friends, and we had this conversation all the time on the plane and stuff like that. But as far as shooting bigs, the greatest of all time is Channing Frye for sure. 7-footers, 3-point shooters, bigs, greatest of all time.
Most threes.
Of all time?
all
If you look at
time.
like Brook
Look
Lopez,
at it.
look,
Who?
Brook, he's
Just
got like
started,
5.
though.
But he didn't start
Granted,
like
it just started, but because of you, that's your trend.
right.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Cheer-
To be
Well,
able to
listen,
change, seriously, to
I'll
be
take
able to
compliments
change the
well. I'll take
game, that's
them. Yeah.
transcending the
Great.
game.
Yeah.
There's so many people who are
great, better than
6'9" right now playing the 5. I'm a 4. I'm 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah, playing the 4.
I'm playing the 4.
Yeah.
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 I
Well, no,
think,
you
But
have to.
every team needs you, Swish. They need a you.
I would love to think that. I love to think that.
No, I
but
think-
everybody don't.
But
look at it like that.
here's where, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Please.
Here's where I think GMs get scared is that you can go on a team and be top 3 most talented guy on the team, and if you go play, the problem is you're better than 90% of most.
But that's
what we
not
talked
my
about.
fault.
But that's what
I
no,
know
no,
it's
we know
not,
it's
but
not your
it's-
fault. But
it's
this is the thing.
intimidating,
and
though.
everything understands. And this is where I think your mindset is in the right place. You're like, I'm willing to accept a lesser role.
Yeah.
Right. Like I can go here and be one of the better players, knowing that I'm still I can deserve 25 minutes, but be okay with playing 10. Like that's what Dwight Howard. Like Dwight Howard and all the ups and downs and all the things that he's going through. Like the minute the Lakers signed him, it was with a big caveat. Like, listen, you're gonna come here. Some days you'll play, some days you might not. You're gonna be this backup, but there was all of this thing about like, hey, and even he said, he's like, yo, once I hit rock bottom, I realized that like, you know, this is one of my last opportunities. And this is a guy that is a future Hall of Famer. He's 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, 8-time All-Star, all these other things. But he was like, yo, this is my role now. My role is to be the backup big.
Obviously, Joe Johnson and those guys are doing it.
They got game.
But after I'm playing the NBA,
You're done.
I'm done.
Me
You
too.
have so many other things too that you love to do.
Yeah, I don't. Now, if I go play in like Mykonos, Greece, or somewhere like that, I got an
Go play
opportunity
for
in
FC
Barcelona.
Barcelona? Yeah.
Go there, all right, for sure. Yeah, sign
What?
me up all day long. But if
And
I'm not
practice
going
like
to the
that?
G League, I'm not going to
Big three.
Big Three. I'm not
It's
going
a
to
China. You're
I'm
not
not
going back to China.
I'm not going to Sierra Canyon with Lil Brody and
You're not going to Sierra K, you're not going to
and Lil
Bangkok.
D Wade.
You're
I'm not going to
gonna-
Bangkok. It's over with.
Yeah.
We're gonna throw these shoestrings on the telephone wires and we're gonna.
Yeah.
I'll be at your retirement.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe you
we
can go
gonna
sit
turn
in
it
the
up.
blind with Channing.
Hey man.
Shoot some nutria.
Listen, when you retire, the world is your oyster.
I just want people to stop
I'll be doing all
following me.
type of
You
stuff.
just want people to stop what?
I just want people to stop following me.
What do you
like,
mean
I'm
following?
good. Like as long as I don't know. I feel like as long as I'm a professional athlete,
Yeah.
like people are always just gonna.
Mess with you?
You know that doesn't
Yeah.
go away, right?
It doesn't go away.
It doesn't go away because
What?
you won
Yeah,
a
I'm,
doesn't go away.
I'm telling you right
JR,
now.
you won a
are
championship
the
and
Henny
didn't wear a
god
shirt
for life.
Literally.
I'm a Henny guy who don't drink Henny. How does that make sense? How does that make sense?
Listen,
My boys drink, bro.
The funniest thing about
call me
Switch
the
is like,
OG
he's like, yo,
gangster. I'm not
everyone
the gangster.
always
I'm
got
like
these
soda
Henny
gangs.
memes.
I'm not an OG
I
called you
don't
that?
drink
we gotta wrap
Hennessy.
this in a second. So
Okay.
find your story and end it.
Yeah. So you don't drink Hennessy.
At all.
It's disgusting.
It's terrible.
I don't know if it's a sponsor, so they can't keep it, but Hennessy is awful.
Bro.
I mean,
listen,
if it's free, I'll drink it.
No,
No.
that's
No,
that's how
it's
you
not.
end up like
I don't
throwing
want
up
it.
in a street.
If you want to catch me,
Yeah.
catch me drinking something, it's going to be whiskey.
Ooh, what kind?
That's my
It depends on what.
Japanese?
Oh God, private school boy over here. Just
I don't
like
like
has to-
Japanese whiskey.
Like, come on.
I don't even think I have. Where do they sell at?
Zoom on
No,
my
you
face.
got there's some good ones.
Zoom
There's-
in on
there's-
my face.
there's-
He's now
there's-
directing the
yeah,
camera to
directing the camera.
zoom.
He's looking at
Swish.
You guys
Swish.
have never had Japanese whiskey?
Thank
I don't know
you.
where they
Nika.
sell it at.
Thank you so
Coffee.
much for taking
Coffee
the time.
rolls. It's great.
always
Appreciate
so
you
good
guys.
Cheers.
to get
Good
you
to
guys
see you.
back
Always
together.
good.
Look, it's all official.
That's another
Look
edition.
at this. We love you guys.
Love you guys.
Cheers.